Mr. Holmes, you came. Oh, how kind. Though now, of course, I realize it is because of my game, not the works on display.
It needn't be one or the other. Your man's disguise was easily debunked, Mr. Vogel, but I shall admit that you planted in me the seed of curiosity.
Ah, terrific! I had no doubt you'd put the pieces together. Let us call it an opening gambit before the real game begins.
So, this little game of yours, what's it about?
An enigma to solve. A locked area in the basement with no windows found brutally vandalized. I have no clue how it was possible.
Interesting.
What about this intrusion? What happened?
Last night, I was about to leave the gallery when I heard a noise downstairs. I went to the basement, but I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. It was admittedly a rudimentary inspection. It is not uncommon to get rats down there, so seeing nothing of note, I left and locked up the building. When I returned this morning, alas, I discovered that part of the exhibition had been torched, and there was no sign of the intruder. The mystery being, of course, that all the doors to the gallery were locked exactly as I left them.
And the door to the basement is the only entrance?
Correct. Tell me you're not intrigued.
Undecided yet.
And this locked area downstairs, what exactly was it?
The under gallery. It's always shut, and I'm the only one with the key.
Ah, so this is your private collection, not part of the gallery.
Oh, no. It's an exclusive exhibition of eccentric pieces. Only a select cadre of artists, investors, and collectors are admitted. Not everyone deserves to have their eyes opened.
Well, this matter is certainly within my wheelhouse.
This intrusion troubles me. Please take a look around if you're willing. The under gallery is through the door at the end.
I will see what I see.
Alright. Color me interested. Pope Formosus and Stephen VI by Jean-Paul Laurens. Oh. Okay. It's just an old man. From far away, it looked like a cat, kind of. I was like, what? It's weird. Grave of a Suicide Victim by Wilhelm Kotarbinsky. Huh. The Yellow Christ. Paul Gauguin. Love and Pain. Edvard Munch. Guardian Spirit of the Waters. Odilon Redon. Redon? Okay. What else do you got? Don't know what that is. The Luncheon on the Grass by Edouard Manet. Manet? Okay. Another poach. Oh. Bollington from Behind by Charles Chatenay. Huh. Feel like I've heard that name before.
You sure you don't like art, Sherry?
The Origin of the World by Gustave Courbet. Oh dear. Well, that's... I mean, that's just that, you know? It's just... Bam. Right in your face, you know?
You sure you don't like art, Sherry?
I don't know anymore. The Apparition by Gustave Moreau. Wait, is this Gustave Moreau as well? Oh, Gustave Courbet. Ronnie Corbett. Okay. Is that it? Alright. Now we go over here, I guess. Can't open that. Okay, downstairs. The A.C.
Back home, we've got a taxidermist.
What?
He's gonna have a heart attack when he sees what I bring him.
Alright. Don't play around with the art exhibition.
A simplistic attempt at provocation.
Oh. What do we have here?
Sherry, how about some company in that dreary chamber of yours?
Leave my loneliness unbroken. A handprint of the thing from another world. Plus it looks fresh, and its coal origin ruins the effect of the extra mundane.
Looks to have been slightly moved. Interesting. Seems that someone has been using this casket for their own means.
Sodden and mold-ridden. One presumes deliberately.
Maybe, yeah. It's kind of an artsy thing to do.
The parasites of creativity. Or just a reflection of the artist's recreational interests. Saturn devouring his sun. Oh, grim composition.
Unflinching in its ferocity, yet somehow beautiful.
Sure, if you say so. Alright, what's going on here? Oh.
A Malpalbot.
And
Coal fingerprints. I think we're looking for a man with a coal moustache.
interesting. Frame is empty.
Ugh, sheer vandalism. Only an ignorant person could do such a thing.
Intriguing. The chain is fragile. For paintings? I suppose. I mean, what else could be down here, right? Paintings or other weird exhibitions. The I.Y. Franco room. Is this part of the exhibition? This big bed. Oh. What's going on here?
Old, and hasn't been used for a long time.
Sounds familiar. 29 inches. 24 inches.
The left step's length is shorter than the right. It indicates that the walker was lame.
Interesting.
Closed with a metal bolt.
Oh.
Footprints. Size 9.5.
Scratches. Fresh. Magnet fillings. Filings? Filings. Okay. Well, it's time to figure this out. So, Mr. Vogel comes down here to check in on the noise. Little did he know that the thief slash arsonist has come here through the chimney, filled with coal all over his hands primarily, and hid himself inside the coffin. After Vogel checked and found nothing and went upstairs, he climbed back out He burned the paintings, but not all of them, stole one of them. He stole one, burnt the rest, right?
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the hatch bolt. He accidentally pushed a shovel to the floor. Vogel heard the noise. At the sound of his approaching footsteps, the intruder hid inside the coffin. When Vogel entered the basement, he failed to notice anything strange and left without properly checking. The intruder waited until Vogel had left the caravanserai before burning the paintings in Wilde's room, but the vandalism was a cover for the theft.
Right. Exactly. Alright. that's that done. Now we gotta report to Vogel.
The pieces are not what I expected.
What do you think my collection is about?
Dozens of priceless works amassed simply for the sake of it and presented without care. It's not about the art, it's about excess, yes?
I don't know.
Well, that's absurd.
What?
Of course you know. It's
What
your
do you mean?
gallery.
There is no one answer, no singular truth, but many filtered through the subjective mind. That forgetting, embellishing, lying machine. Besides, what's wrong with a lie if it makes life more interesting?
What's wrong with a lie? It corrupts the ability of others to behave freely and rationally.
Men never act freely and rationally anyway. It matters not what is or isn't in the end. The only important thing is how you feel. And I simply want to feel and consume as much as I can. Don't you?
Feelings are simply one's animal ancestry trying to wrest back control of the brain. I try to avoid the distraction.
You try not to feel, even in a place like this? None of it moves you?
To be frank, I struggle to maintain even a whit of interest in art.
But Mr. Holmes, it is joy incarnate, mankind's greatest achievement.
Mankind's highest achievement above all others is objective and rational thought.
I see then why you dislike art, for it means whatever you want it to.
Or perhaps, Mr. Vogel, I was lying.
Aha.
Yes. Well, I'm afraid it wasn't as interesting as I thought it would be.
Mr. Vogel, I have confirmed that the intruder was an average-sized, flexible Malpal smoker with a limp. As it happens, the vandalism was a cover. The true intent was to steal a painting without your knowledge. The fact is, one of the pieces from the Wild Room is not in the wreckage.
What? That is extraordinary.
So, any chance you know a certain someone with a limp?
This thief was familiar with the gallery and he was sporting a limp. Do any of your clients or artists come to mind?
My. Your attention to detail is remarkable, Mr. Holmes. I should introduce you to Bosch's works.
Who?
Alas, I'm afraid I cannot suggest a culprit.
Oh.
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the latch and dislodged the shovel while doing so. That's the noise you heard yesterday. When you went downstairs to investigate, he hid in the coffin.
It seems I should have checked the space more thoroughly.
Maybe. Or maybe you're lucky that you didn't, because if you did, the thief would have probably resorted to some fatal measures.
The fire was a clever attempt to hide a stolen painting, even if it didn't fool me. I found the remnants of an empty frame in the pile of ashes. The canvas had been removed. Do you know which paintings in the Wild Room may have interested a thief? Were any particularly expensive?
Those pieces belong to a well-known artist named Boniface Mercurio. They're controversial, but not of a notably high value.
There's something more, is there not? I can see it in your eyes.
Indeed. There is another intriguing angle. I recently received an anonymous offer for one of Mercurio's works. The sum was more than fair, and indeed could have saved Mercurio from his artistic poverty. But he declined it.
Was it a performative whim? Some artists lionize pain and hardship as if their work would be worse after a meal and a hot bath.
I cannot tell. But not only did he refuse the deal, he insisted on displaying the painting in the public space. I was hoping to change his mind, but artists are a special breed of stubborn.
Right. Well,
What was depicted in the piece?
A bound woman, wrapped in robes, being penetrated by a red devil that stared at us, the viewer. The beast had numerous tails growing from his back, and a large crowd gathered around the pair, silently watching the orgiastic scene.
Okay, well, given the nature of the other works on display, it's hard to see why that one stood out. What could possibly be its value?
The evaluation of art is very subjective, Mr. Holmes. After all, art is everything. A poem, a bruise, the beads of sweat on your beloved skin. Even a masterfully solved crime.
I'm not sure I see the connection.
Regardless, the painting was one of a series called The Sabbath Night in Cordona. The works depict sex, violence, and other controversial acts that life, for better or worse, contains.
Ah, I see.
Right.
I'm not sure that you do, but that can wait for another time.
So where can I find Boniface Mercurio?
I know he lives somewhere in Old City, but couldn't be more specific. He's a prominent figure, so finding him shouldn't be a problem.
Well, I believe I have enough to begin. Thank you, Mr. Vogel. Your gallery certainly has unexpected depths.
I'm delighted to have been able to please a friend. In return, I expect you to come back with good news. Or at least with a good story.
Well, I can definitely promise you one. Alright. So, we're looking for... someone who lives in Old City. Who is, prominent? There we go. The Brawl at Artists Sellout. The past week has brought us a new scandal regarding the local so-called artistic higher society. It all began at the painting sellout named by local artists as the Dance of Decadence. The director of a publishing house, the Lion, Darren Terwick, broke the idol by throwing a chair at a decadent artist, Boniface Mercurio. As Mr. Terwick said later, he did it because Mr. Mercurio brought dishonor to his name. The column writer graciously reminds the reader that recently Mr. Mercurio was spotted with Mrs. Terwick at a coffee shop. Afterwards, an orchestra conductor, Kurt Gallagher, smashed a painting across Mr. Terwick's head to protect his friend Mercurio. A large brawl started, including a large number of the customers. After a protracted fight, the police arrived. All the high society brawlers were arrested and placed under guard for a week. What a breathtaking event it was. As your loyal personal advisor, I suggest that you obtain a souvenir from the sellout. Unfortunately, it has since ended, but Boniface Mercurio himself invites our readers to visit his home and purchase one of his paintings. You will find him at the address Hermes Avenue, between Scarlet Street and Olive Street in Old City. There we go. We're going to Old City.
Excuse me, young man. Where do you think you're going?
Greetings, Mum.
Hello.
I'm looking for the...
I don't care who you're looking for. You shall not pass.
What?
No visitors allowed.
I wish
But
to buy
I-
a painting from Mr. Boniface Mercurio. Is he at home?
Dearie, tell me, because old age has made me blind.
Yes?
Did someone write Information Bureau on my forehead?
Oh,
Because I'm not here to answer your questions. Entry is for residents only. If you aren't a resident, please leave, or I shall report you
Oh.
to the police.
oh. My apologies. I didn't know that there's such strict rules. Alright. I guess I'll come back sometime. Oh, there's an idea. Hold on. Let me see what I got here in my wardrobe. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of this. A little bit of that. A little bit of this, maybe. And, some of that, too. Yeah, why not? Okay. Try this again.
Boniface, sweetie. Is that you? Ah. Old age does terrible things to one's sight. I didn't recognize you at first.
How are you, Mum? I'm ashamed to admit that I've lost my key. Do you have a spare?
For heaven's sake!
Oh.
How many times will you lose that key of yours?
Oh.
Of course I have a spare. You artists all live in your own little world.
Please, accept my thanks.
Yeah.
I would rather accept your rent. You
Oh.
promised to pay me several weeks ago, and I'm still waiting.
I will pay you, I promise, very soon.
You'd better do, my dear. Or else I'll just change the lock. And I won't fall for those cow eyes.
Alright. I understand, man. Alright. Well, that was fucking worthless. Just really have to go through all that just to get... Oh dear. What do we have here?
The wound is precise. It was inflicted by a razor or a knife. Soaked in blood. It seems as if the puddle of blood was here before the rags.
Soft torso
Judging
muscles.
by post-mortem rigidity, the body lay here for 1 or 2 days.
Bruises on knuckles. Okay. Knife.
A normal kitchen knife. Could be the murder weapon.
Fascinating. Alright. I certainly didn't expect... John!
Don't look at me like that, Sherry. I will not touch that dirty floor.
Damn it, John. It's not time for this.
The blood has dried.
I've heard of this style of painting. It is called Expressionism.
What's going on here? This is quite a mess, isn't it?
It appears the wine was truly awful.
Yeah, that's one explanation.
I wonder where he got that fancy camera.
From the fancy camera shop?
Despite the overall tendency towards mess, you cannot sit with the drawer pulled out like this. Someone left it after searching.
Knife is missing. Blue cloth fibers. Interesting. Well, we probably know where the knife went.
Aunt May whiskey, brandy bucks. Quite a collection he had here.
His own little booze collection. I'm sure he felt proud.
The chest has been searched.
For the painting, maybe. Oh,
Red skin, tails on the back. Reminds me of Werder's description of the stolen painting.
yeah, that sounds like it, alright. What's going on here?
The photograph was not pulled out in time. Such a waste of material.
Oh. What's going on here?
Look at this, John. Isn't it our stolen demon?
Looks like it was quite the party. Okay. Alright. Let's try and figure this out. Alright, so... Right. Mercurio... and processing his photo. Hears a noise. So he walks in and finds an intruder messing with his stuff. And so he rushes him. They fight. Mercurio grabs a bottle. The attacker grabs a knife. And then... oh. And then it seems the killer couldn't handle seeing all the blood and vomited?
Mercurio was developing photographs when the intruder snuck in. Mercurio heard him coming. While the thief was searching the chest, the painter ran towards him with a bottle in his hand. He smashed it across the thief's head. The intruder had no choice but to defend himself, and the weapon of opportunity happened to be a kitchen knife. Mercurio stepped aside to grab the painting, but the wine-blinded thief attacked Mercurio's throat. When the thief came to his senses, he saw Mercurio bleeding on the floor. He grabbed the rags and tried to bandage him, but it was too late. Why did Mercurio attempt to snatch the painting in the middle of a fight? To strike the intruder? Not with his painting, it was too important to him.
I mean, he probably just didn't want it in someone else's hands. You know? Alright, let's take another look at the painting.
It's time for some chemical magic.
Oh. It's time to analyze this out. See what we find. -2, 1, and 2. Alright, sounds simple enough. Let's see. I'm gonna use my new tactic here by decreasing by 1 and then changing the sign. I'm gonna also decrease by 1 here. And then I'm gonna halve it to quicken the process. I'm gonna halve it. And then gonna need to combine this with this, combine this with that, combine this with this, combine this with that. There we go. I managed to erase the blood by using chemicals. It's a still life painting of Mercurio's room.
That doesn't look like the painting we need, Sherry.
As expected, but that doesn't mean it won't tell us anything. Let's put it on the easel where it belongs.
Alright. Now what?
I guess this is his most ordinary painting. Spot the two differences, John?
I can already spot one.
If the intruder didn't take it, the skull should be somewhere here.
Interesting. Oh. There we go. What's so special about the skull?
The monster was actually a man.
Oh.
Poor girl. John, you ought to be thrilled. We are now hunting the devil himself.
What were you saying, Sherry? I was too busy sketching the scene, you know, crimes and such like, daily routine. Did you find something?
A photograph. It depicts a man in a red suit with tails sprouting from his back and multiple people in masks watching the scene. It all adds up. But the act of love, it wasn't given willingly, John. It was a violation. And the girl, she was with child.
Give that to me now. Did you recognize someone?
No. Although the victim is not from Cordona, she is African. Look at the ritual scars on her face.
Get that image out of your brain. You have to continue the investigation.
I must speak to the landlady. Perhaps she saw or heard something.
Sherry, you cannot tell her the truth about Mercurio. It will hurt her.
John, that's
But-
illogical. Sooner or later, she will come here and discover a corpse, and
Yeah.
I still need to talk to her.
Just avoid mentioning corpse. All right? Stick to the character. Tell her to call the police.
I'll take that into account.
And wait here.
What?
I've drawn the people in the photograph. Now you can
Oh.
proceed with your investigation without those horrific details.
Good. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Sketch of the abuser. Right. And we're still gonna need to find the pregnant girl. The pregnant African girl.
What's wrong, dear?
Oh.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Oh, hey,
Can you tell me if anyone else has recently entered the flat?
Oh, you're talking about that limping man. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I didn't mean. I was scared.
limping
And I
man.
thought maybe he would motivate you to find money so that you would pay your rent. No offense, dear.
Can you describe him?
Oh, so you weren't at home. I was so certain you didn't leave your flat that day. He was of average height, had a limp and a tattoo on his neck, and he was smoking Malpal cigarettes. My husband used to smoke those. They have a horrible smell I can recognize from a mile away.
I see. One more thing.
Can I ask a favour?
Of course, dearie.
Please call the police and ask them to enter the flat. And don't look inside until they come up.
What? What trouble have you stepped in this time?
It really doesn't matter. Thank you, Mum.
Yeah. See you later. And, good luck with that thing.
Phew, Sherry, that was close. But you did everything correctly. Now, take off your outfit. I can't let you walk around in a dead man's clothes.
Hold on a minute. Alright, fine.
Is this familiar to you?
Oh, I've heard talk.
You've heard talks. How old are you? The hell? Okay. The scars on the girl's face seem to be from Iway's ethnic group tribe. The only place where you can find Iway's people in Cardona is the refugee camp located under Victoria Bridge between Scaladio and Silverton. There we go.
Beasts!
Oh? Beasts? What's going on? Huh.
Murderers!
They're completely livid.
First they come to our land, then they murder our people.
Sir, this place is off limits to the public. Please state your business or leave, or I shall request that the police escort you out.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm a private investigator. I'm looking for a witness for a case.
A private investigator? Really? Even so, you're not authorised. I can't let you in.
And you are?
I'm Ronald Harlow, here to handle the refugee situation on behalf of City Hall. I'm the acting supervisor here, so I have full authority here to ask you to leave, or I shall order the police to detain you for trying to pass the blockade. Please, step back.
Right. Couple of seconds, please. Just give me a few seconds. Pale, bags under eyes, works indoors, poor lighting. Overdressed, wants to look authoritative. Slight mustache, tries to appear older. Damp palms, sweating, stressed. And clean shoes, sedentary. Being outside the comfort zone, stressed. You know what? I think he's just a depressed young clerk, exhausted by his day-to-day job. City Hall assigned him to oversee the refugee camp, but he's too tired and indifferent to solve the problem that arise. He has a scant mustache, which he thinks makes him look older. Pale skins and bags under his eyes suggest he's tired of his dark, cramped office, which he rarely leaves, yet, judging by his clean and barely worn shoes, he does not favor the outdoors in any case. Sweaty palms suggest that Ronald is stressed. He might have worn fewer clothes considering today's weather. There we go.
The people in the crowd are shouting about a murder in the camp. Are you trying to hide it?
It's mere assumption. I assure you that the situation is under the police's control.
If it was under control, if there was no dead body, you wouldn't be as nervous as you are. You would be sitting in your cozy dark corner of a City Hall room doing nothing as usual. Yet, you're here, trying to deal with a series of problems you never asked for.
These insults are inappropriate.
Oh,
You don't know what I'm doing for this camp. Even though the rest of City Hall doesn't give a bloody squat about the refugees, maybe I didn't want to be assigned to this camp. But I'm trying to do my best for these people. If not for my work, they might not have any shelter or food even.
I apologize, Mr. Harlow. Perhaps I was prejudiced towards you, but in any case, I'm sure that you would still want this to be over as quickly as possible. The current reality is that neither you nor the police are managing things well here. You are unable to calm the crowd. You have simply never handled a situation like this before.
What are you driving at, Mr. Holmes?
well,
I can help you to handle the situation if you're truly interested in solving things quickly and quietly.
And how exactly would you manage that?
Simply tell the police that I'm with City Hall and I'm permitted to investigate the scene. I'll work out the rest, but in return I need your help finding my witness. She's a young refugee. She's with child or was with child recently.
Look, there is indeed a dead body inside the camp.
Oh.
So even if the girl you are looking for is there, all the refugees are now being detained and interrogated by the police. They won't allow you to speak with her. And I can't do anything about that until the situation settles down.
So it's in our mutual interest to settle it.
Oh. I suppose that things are bad enough that I ought not shy away from help. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell the police to allow you to come inside. Just tell me when you're ready.
alright. So,
Mr. Harlow, what exactly do you do here? What are your responsibilities?
What I do and what I am responsible for are two different realities, Mr. Holmes. On paper, I am in charge of the camp territory, security, provision, and the refugees in general. What I actually do most of the time is knock on every City Hall door trying to obtain some funding, or at least rations for the camp.
The police here on City Hall's behalf too.
They are, minus those who came here after the body was found. The governor won't let the refugees disperse into the islands, so there's a significant police presence guarding the camp. Naturally, they answer directly to the police. I have some influence here, but I'm not their direct authority.
I see.
Mr. Harlow, how did the refugees end up here exactly?
Oh, so you're not from around here yourself?
I've been away for some time, but I read the papers.
Yes, this whole story has been in the papers for almost a year now. They were smuggled to Cordona on a ship from Africa.
Smuggled? Then why didn't you deport them?
The smugglers managed to sneak them to shore and hide them inside an abandoned warehouse. When the police raided the warehouse and found the refugees there, the ship was already gone. We aren't even certain as to which ship it was. We have busy shipping routes with other colonies these days, you see.
So you decided to lock them up under a bridge?
There was no other option. We're still trying to work out what to do with them. I only hope we'll find a humane solution and not put them on a raft and float them out to sea.
Right. Well,
I'm ready to take a look at the scene.
All right. Go inside the camp and find Inspector Tewkesbury. He's the officer investigating the scene. Tell him I sent you. Say you're an independent expert from City Hall. He'll fill in the details for you.
I'll find my way with words. Thank you, Mr. Harlow.
Beasts!
thank you. Appreciate it.
So they keep these refugees under a bridge like proverbial trolls. No wonder the people outside are so disturbed.
Who the hell are you? How did you get in here?
Mr. Ronald Harlow, let me in, sir.
Hello.
I'm Sherlock Holmes, a surveyor of refugee affairs with City Hall. You're Inspector Tewkesbury, I presume?
A surveyor? What does that even mean?
In short,
Well-
I've been sent to conduct an extensive report on the incident for the Colonial Office and to assess all the damage inflicted on state property.
Got it. Another paperworm sent to count money and get food for archive mold. Go on, look around, but don't make yourself too at home. As if I didn't have enough problems before you appeared.
Could you first tell me what happened here?
What happened? People from the bridge above the camp heard a woman screaming and saw a mass of refugees attacking a man. Clearly not a refugee. When the camp guards came by, the man was floating in the sewage canal with a knife in his chest. Bam. A murder. Big news for Cordona.
I'm sure. Thank you, Inspector.
And,
Did you learn anything about the dead man?
The fellow looks like a thug. I've had dozens like him fished out of the sea over the past 20 years. Ever since these refugees arrived, there have been people on Cordona with bad blood in them. My best bet is that this thug had something against them too.
And no clue as to his identity.
He had some items on his body, but nothing to indicate who he was or where he was from.
I think I should catalogue his possessions in my records.
Go on. They're on the table near the body.
Alright, thank you.
Do you have any suspects yet?
You're joking, right? I've got a whole camp full of suspects. And if you ask me, this bloke had it coming. Better bury him and forget about the whole thing. And now there's a crowd gathered at the camp, and my superiors say we must thoroughly interrogate the refugees. At least those who can understand any English.
Do you believe that your superiors wish to get rid of the refugees?
I think that both our superiors would rather keep the story quiet. Since that's an unaffordable luxury now, they're looking how to protect their public image. That's why I have to waste my time waiting for my people to turn every stone and befriend every refugee.
Right.
And none of the refugees were harmed?
One fellow was cut. He's lying over there near their kitchen. He's in a bad way.
You mentioned a woman screaming who attracted the bypassers on the bridge. Was she harmed?
No, she's all right, but perhaps the whole debacle started because of her. She started wailing and the refugees stood up for the girl.
And where is this young woman now?
Back there in the shacks, same as the rest of the refugees. She's being questioned by my men, but she's just some refugee girl. Can't understand much English.
Right, I see. Well,
Here we go again. Number of hours on Cordona before stumbling upon another dead body? 0.
alright. Well, I don't even know where to begin. Oh, I know where to begin. Let's find number 1. Where is evidence number 1? There we go. Alright.
An interesting tattoo. Does it mean something?
Well, it's either 7 or 110 or 2. 2 in Roman numerals and a dot. Oh my, what's this?
A steel dirk. Sharp. A common accessory among sailors and soldiers.
Really? It looks kinda occultish, if you will.
I'd say the blade penetrated upward, however the wound is too messy to be certain.
Alright. Debris under fingernails.
Coal dust
Coal
under the
dust.
nails. I don't see much coal around here.
Interesting. Anything on this hand? No. Oh.
Heavy boots, with one sole far more worn than the other. This man was limping, John.
Uh-huh.
A violent death. This man, limping. Coal dust. I think we're onto something here, John.
Right. This can't be a coincidence. It has to mean something.
If they find out about
Oh.
the passage, everything will go there.
The passage? What is the passage for? Money? Hysteria? Public eye? Refugees out? Low salary? Camp lockdown? Police officers are worried that the situation with the dead body will put the camp in strict lockdown and they will lose the money flow they were earning from their scheme.
Nobody will know anything if you keep your bloody mouth shut.
The coppers smell fishy here, Sherry. Sherry, just look at this. Living quarters in a sewer. What kind of a genius bureaucrat came up with this idea?
What are they up to? What's going on in the refugee camp, I wonder? Okay. Moving on to number 2. We have...
A simple leather sheath. Perfect for a dirk.
Interesting.
£1,000. A fair sum, especially considering British currency isn't very common in Cordona. Malpal, soaked with salt water.
Well, not surprising, I suppose. Alright. What do we have here? blood.
Someone bled profusely here.
And some broken stuff. Crates.
A fresh crack, as if the crate was hit recently.
What does that mean? Did the crate get hit after the death? After the attack? Small trench in sand.
Furrow in the ground.
Mild bleeding. Kept moving.
A blood trail leading to or from the canal.
Alright. Where's number 5? Where's number 5 at?
Our dead fella truly has had a day of misfortune.
There it is.
Oh, carnelian agate beads, a traditional African adornment.
More blood.
The blood sprayed off the blade after the strike.
What's this?
No hint of blood or impact.
Is it a twig?
It might have been used as an improvised weapon.
Yeah, it's quite the weapon. Sharpened piece of wood. I guess it'll do the job. What do we have here?
The cut is deep, potentially serious if not treated immediately. He is in shock, feverish and dehydrated.
Sherry, you know first aid. Surely you have a duty to help this man. You can't leave him to certain death.
What do you want me to do? I need something to clean the wound, something to disinfect it, and something to use as a bandage. Alright, I'll see what I can do.
Someone was dragged against their will. That will kill, not save him.
Ilex aquiflim.
The refugees have been detained and will not leave until all the circumstances are clarified. Back off.
Fine. Alright. If you say so. Oh. Boiled water. Clean.
I'll use it to create a solution.
There we go. Wait. Did we find... Where's number 8? Can't do this out of order, fellas. Where's number 8 at? There's 5, 6, and 7. But what about number 8? Oh. Cloth. Presumably clean.
Just washed. Better than nothing to bandage the wound.
Yoink. Don't mind if I do. What the hell? Where's number 8?
Excuse me, just one question. Nothing I can tell you, sir, but others might know more.
Oh, sorry about that. Didn't actually want to talk to you. Oh, what's this? Aloe vera.
I can use this to stop the infection from spreading. I've plated all the ingredients, now to prepare the first aid solution.
Let me guess. Chemical analysis? There we go. -4, -6. Easy enough. There we go. Add 1. Change sign. Wait, what? -6. How do I... Hold on. There we go. Change sign. Boom. Boom. Bada boom. Alright. I've made a solution to clean out the wound and stop the bleeding. Better hop to it then.
Thank you.
This should make you feel better, my friend. Now remain lying down and drink as much water as you can.
Well done, Sherry. At least he won't die from the infection.
Right. If he's gonna die, it's not gonna be from the infection. Ah, there we go. Number 8. Okay, what are we looking at here? 9.5, damaged
A
sole.
heavy boot with a worn-out sole.
10, bare.
A man's footprint.
Okay. Anything else? Oh. These are 9 police boots.
Police boots. Always happy to trample evidence.
Of course.
Clearly a left handprint here. You know what? I'd like to understand.
What?
How did our dead man end up inside the camp in the first place?
Yeah. How did he do that? Might as well ask around as well.
You still here?
Yes. Got some questions for you.
Don't bother someone else with this, son. Don't bother someone else with this, son. Don't bother someone else with this, son. Your problem, not mine.
The guards at the sewers were speaking about taking refugees out of the camp. Do you know anything about this, Inspector?
Less than you do, obviously.
And this doesn't bother you as an officer of the law?
I can neither punish them nor put them on the right track, if that's what you're asking. Maybe your friends at City Hall could do something about it, but I seriously doubt that. To be honest, I'm sick and tired of being frowned on for my uniform. If those fine gentlemen you've eavesdropped on are in some shady business, that's on their heads.
Right, I see. He doesn't seem surprised about his colleagues being involved in such an operation. Huh. Can I go outside?
I hope I'm not making a grave mistake in trusting you, Mr. Holmes.
Can I ask someone else about this?
Do you know anything about this?
A solid question, sir, but I don't have the answer.
Of course not. Well, I don't know what else to do, really. Oh, there we go. Strong gate, unopened for a long time.
Sealed shut. I doubt our man could get through these grates.
Alright. Well, he didn't do it this way. Who else? Can I ask the refugee about... Can I ask the refugee about what's going on in the refugee camp, maybe? He would know. You?
Do you know anything about this?
A solid question, sir, but I don't have the answer.
Alright. Maybe that's a question for later, I guess? Okay. Well, for now, I guess I just have to find out how the intruder got in. Fine, okay. Can't ask around there. By boat? Unlikely.
It's unlikely anyone could get in or out of the camp by water without alerting the police guards.
Yeah. What about... Oh. What's going on here?
A single Malpal butt.
Okay.
Roadman cigarettes. A brand highly regarded by law enforcement officers. So there wasn't any sophisticated infiltration plan. The good old police just let the man into the camp. Now we have everything we need to get the full picture of what happened at the camp.
Interesting. Maybe, do I need to pin this maybe first?
I hope I'm not making a grave mistake in trusting you, Mr. Holmes.
It's not working. Was he seriously just let in? Interesting. Alright. I guess we'll have to just try and figure this out. Alright. Where do we begin? We'll begin from here, I guess. The attacker tried to drag the refugee against her will. Then one of the refugees came to the assistant. With the improvised weapon, he managed to land a strike, I guess. One of them did. More refugees came to help. He was cornered. Oh, she fell, and her bead necklace snapped. The beads fell everywhere. He ran. A barefooted man ran after him. He tripped on the crates. Sure, let's say that. He was stabbed, and his body fell into the sewage. Right?
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Okay, I think it's this one. Because he said something about the damage happening very early. So...
You're not even trying, Sherry.
Shit.
Concentrate.
Oh. I mean, it seems that everything is right? So... What am I getting wrong? Oh, okay. Okay, so the change is that because they wrestled here, and this is where he was stabbed, and so he wasn't kicked off. He fell off. Is that it?
You're not even trying,
Fucking hell.
Sherry.
Okay, he fell off, and he did trip. So who fucking stabbed him? Running after each other, that's correct. Woman falling to the ground, that's correct. Yeah. Pulling a knife. Yeah. Okay. So
we have a thug who came to take a refugee woman with him. She resisted, but he dragged her by force. One of the refugees stood in his way, armed with a stick, yet he could do nothing against a cutthroat with a blade. The man didn't anticipate that the other refugees would intervene and stand against him. In the confusion, the woman managed to break free. The thug took fright and fled. He was stopped by the falling crates. He stumbled and fell, piercing his chest with his own blade. However, the wound didn't cause instant death. He managed to stand, but still bleeding, he lost his balance on the bridge and fell. Before all of this, the man had freely entered the camp through the main entrance. The police admitted him after they had a short smoke together.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. In our man's case, it's the same sword.
What is this? Some Looney Tunes nonsense. What do you mean he tripped and fell on his knife? What is that? What even is that? What does that even mean? Come on, man. Get out of here. Still have no answer on what's going on in the refugee camp.
Back off.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Didn't know it would happen that fast. What the hell? And now I'm constantly running without having to press a button. The fuck?
Mr. Harlow, your refugees didn't murder anyone.
What? Pray tell me what you've learned.
All right, listen carefully. This might solve one problem for you, but will create a few more.
Oh, well, that's a great start.
The man came to the camp intending to kidnap one of your refugees, a woman. What he didn't expect was that the refugees would stand up to protect the woman. A brawl had broken out. In the chaos of it, the man stumbled over those crates and fell on his own blade.
How do you know he fell on his own blade?
The wound in his chest was inflicted from an unusual angle. It was not an offensive stab, shall we say. The refugees didn't touch him. And judging by the blood at the scene, the intruder managed to raise himself but was unable to walk very far. He ultimately fell into the canal.
But how did he sneak into the camp? Why didn't the police see him?
And
well,
this is where your new problems emerge, Mr. Harlow.
What do you mean?
You're not a dull-witted man. You know what I mean. There is no feasible way to get into the camp without the police guards knowing of it.
The pile of mess I had to sort out has just become bigger. But somehow that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, I thank you for your help, Mr. Holmes. I'll take it from here. Meanwhile, I'll make sure the police aren't detaining the refugees any longer. You can go back in and look for your witness.
You think one small clock can make any difference in this place?
Who knows, John? Just one ill-fitting cog could make the whole machine crumble.
I owe you a lot, Mr. Holmes.
You're disturbing a hornet's nest here, son.
What are you up to, Inspector? Got a bad vibe off here.
Do you know anything about this?
They often take us from the camps to work. Most don't mind, though. It's the only way we get a glimpse of freedom.
I see. Some shady people regularly visit the camp and take refugees away with them to perform various work. Work is usually hard, but the refugees receive money and food. The girl was abused after she was supposedly taken to such work. Since then, the refugees decided not to allow their women to be taken.
So there's a smuggling ring in the camp. This wasn't the first time that someone freely entered the camp to take a refugee out.
At least it was certainly his last time. My gut tells me that we'll learn more about this ring when we find out where the thug came from.
Maybe.
You're the one who tended to our man's wounds. I thank you greatly. The police didn't allow us to help him.
The police will leave you alone. I've proven to them that the man who came into the camp died due to his own foolishness.
Thank you for standing up for us. But nobody would help us without a reason. You're here because you want something.
Yes, I do. I need to speak with the girl drawn here.
The dead man came for her too. He wanted to take the girl away, but we won't allow her to be hurt again. What do you want from Nayla?
Nayla. She was hurt some time ago. I'm here to find the people who did this and bring them to justice. And to find them, I need Nayla's help. Will you let me speak to her?
Justice. There's no justice on this land. But you helped us, so maybe your words are not empty. You can speak to Nayla, if she wants it. But I will be watching you.
Fair enough.
Hello, Nayla.
Hello?
My name is Sherlock. I know someone hurt you. I am here to help. I'm trying to find the people involved and bring them to justice. Please. There is a photograph, and I'm sorry, it is terrible, but I simply must ask. Where did this happen? What can you tell me about these people?
Oh.
Christ, Sherlock. Naylor, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this.
You come here for me, but you are rude and cruel and condescending. A cross. The man had this cross. Now go away.
Right. Oh.
Leave us be. I do not need another white man's help.
Oh.
Oh, glad that wasn't me.
Not my best work, John, by a long shot. Naylor doesn't
At
want
least
us
some
meddling.
of your
I'm
kind
starting
have
to
a
wonder
heart.
what this all achieves.
Thank you again.
But she helped you anyway. Now we know that maniac's face and the cross he wore, we can still catch him.
Perhaps. This man did not come here by chance. He is a very important thread in this case, and this tattoo might help me to pull it. So who do I talk to? These guys?
You still here?
I'll just look around.
Oh. You still here?
Yes. What can you tell me about
Your problem, not mine. Your problem, not mine. I've already told you all I've learned. Your problem, not mine. Go and bother someone else with this, son.
Fine, here you go.
The intruder has a most peculiar tattoo on his neck, 2 lines and a point. Do you know anything about it?
You really want to know, kid? Why? You want to play a policeman or something?
I'm sure you have it in your records, so it won't hurt if I have it in mine.
In my records, it's just a tattoo, as it should be in yours. Ah, to hell with you. Suit yourself as to what you're going to do with it. Off the record, though, such tattoos are often connected to a man named Mr. Niccolo Bernadotti.
Bernadotti, you say?
A respectable businessman in Scaladio. His company imports goods and wines, and smuggles everything that can be smuggled between the colonies and the mainland. His people can be identified by an obscure tattoo, just like the one over there our friend has. But these are all merely rumors, you see. If Mr. Bernadotti was a criminal, he'd be in prison now. Or hanged, right?
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?